Robbie Savage for that first long ball of the night. Song, who'll be playing in the centre of the back four alongside Senderos, the Swiss international. Here's Senderos again, then Traoré at left back. The 18-year-old Randall, who's been drafted into the midfield after the problem with Theo Walcott. He's playing on the right, although I gather here he is. He's normally a central midfielder. He's been training with the first team for a while. And Wenger hoping he will test Stephen Warnock tonight down that Arsenal flank. Made only a couple of substitute appearances in the past. That was last season too, not this one. The header was from Bentner. And then Samba, the giant central defender for Blackburn, around 6'5". How will he cope with Bentner? There's no slouch in the air. It's a foul on Roque Santa Cruz, whose all-round contribution was simply superb at the weekend. He really didn't deserve to be on the losing side. 3 excellent goals. Not just that, though, said his manager. Everything about him was so impressive and so easy on the eye. Up comes Nelson, the skipper, the New Zealand international, along with Samba. But Arsenal have coped with a header from Samba, the Congolese international. Warnock. Decent goal as well for Bentley. He'll be so anxious to improve against his former club. Little surge by him there into enemy territory. Never really made a breakthrough with the Gunners. Though he did feature in their League Cup runs in the past. Played indeed in a semi-final, I remember, against Middlesbrough. Very direct. Certainly could be hoping to force his way into England contention under the new coach Fabio Capello. Was Randall's pass. Good link-up play here. Bentner's ball looking for Diaby. And they're off to a cracking start, the young Gunners. Abo Diaby, a measured finish there. Rather static defending by Blackburn, I think you'd have to say here. They got plenty back. But no one really keeping a watchful eye on Diaby. As Reid, who backed away, gave him the time to place it into the corner beyond Brad Friedel. It's a very good finish. Just 5 minutes gone, and Arsenal have the lead at Ewood Park. Diaby, who has helped the French team, of course, into the finals of the next European Championships. De Nielsen picking up the pieces for Arsenal. Safely through to Fabianski. I think was captain in the last round. We'd expected Gilberto to win the armband. It was Fabianski. He's kept clean sheets in the last 2 games. He's played in the Carling Cup. Wenger expects to go on to greater things. They've got another chance of a goal here. It's clipped the top of the crossbar. John Bentner. Again, the Blackburn marking was pretty much non-existent. Defending really nervously in this early phase. They led in one, it could have been another one there. Arsenal with just under 4,000 travelling fans, and they're making plenty of noise, as you can imagine, just at the moment. Totally dictating the play. That was De Nielsen. It's first to it ahead of Pedersen. Just too heavy though for Randall. Well, Bentner was through on goal then. He can be such a clinical finisher too. Doesn't get to start too many games. Indeed, he's not begun one in the Premier League yet. Just took his moment then and was denied by the frame of the goal, with Brad Friedel beaten once more. Called into service down the right tonight in the absence of Walcott. from Traore. But at the expense of a corner, which will at least give the home fans something to cheer about, something to latch on to. Up comes big Chris Samba. King Kong, as his teammates call him. Now that they know him better. I think at first it was just Chris. Pedersen, it's a decent one as well. Fabianski almost made a mess of that. Not too convincing there, the Polish goalkeeper. And here comes Eduardo on the break. Randall, very good first touch. Danielson. This time they do have sufficient cover back there, Blackburn, to smother the threat. Senderos. Danielson's after this one, with defenders having to come scurrying back. Warnock, who mistimed it. I think he's going to be yellow carded for that. Warnock, who had a defensive aberration for one of the Wigan goals at the weekend. Well, I think he certainly attempted to play the ball. So Stephen Warnock with Pedersen. Good combination play here by Rovers. And they've certainly got a chance with Bentley. Good save. Really fired in there by David Bentley, but a great stop. So David Dunn, I should say. Terrific stop as he plunged down to his left there, Fabianski, and just managed to claw it round the post. Well, that was much better than from Blackburn. And Fabianski at full stretch again. This time to tip it away. Greatest Polish goalkeeper to come to the English game, of course. Kuszak and Dudek. Dunn getting involved with them there in the 6-yard box. Savage. Blackburn still knocking on the door here. And again, the goalkeeper called into action. And again, underlining his agility. Wenger was saying beforehand, he's such a good shot stopper in his all-round goalkeeping. Really impressive. Certainly emphasised that there. Danielson for Arsenal. On the prowl again. Oh, mistake. Eduardo. And it's two. Another mishap at the back for Blackburn Rovers. Fully punished by Eduardo, the Croatian international. No wonder he is looking absolutely furious, Brad Friedel. Samba's mistake. And there was Eduardo to pounce. He doesn't get to start too many games for Arsenal. But when he does play, he looks the part. Oh, but Samba should have dealt with that. Getting so much praise early on in the season, Samba, alongside Nelson or Oya, whatever the partnership was, they were really looking secure. But in the last few matches, well, the nerves have struck. Eduardo makes it 2-0. His 6th goal this season. Hasn't got any in the Premier League yet, but he's hardly featured. But in this competition, well, he got a stunner, you might remember, against Sheffield United in the last round. And he's put them firmly in the driving seat now. This after Rovers themselves had, well, come close on a couple of occasions at the other end. It might have been so different for Mark Hughes' side. But for Fabianski's goalkeeping. But then that defensive error. Oof, if looks could kill. Well, it's given them so much to do now. You don't get the feeling they'll get that many chances against this slick and polished Arsenal B team. Wonder where they'd finish in the Premier League if they were allowed to play. Probably second, with Arsenal top. They'll upset a few Man United fans and Chelsea and Liverpool. It's going to be a thrilling race, I think, in truth, for the Premier League title this year. Certainly if those games at the weekend are anything to go by. Arsenal really digging in to finally get the better of Chelsea. Well, Man United won at Anfield in similarly resilient fashion. Not by Hoyt, one of the more senior figures in this team. Nielsen. For once they got their ankles wrong. But nothing wrong with his finishing. Eduardo. The naturalised Croatian. 34 goals in that domestic league last season. But really waiting to make his mark with the Gunners. Another test for Fabianski and co. But no joy for Derbyshire, who has indeed been pushed out to this right-hand side now. It's more or less 4-5-1. More problems are brewing. Bentner and Randall in the middle. Eduardo going for it. Looking really buoyant. And that applies to the whole team. Wenger felt they were very unlucky to lose the final last season to Chelsea. I suppose he would say that anyway, but he felt they were hard done by, and they want to make amends. Reed. Troy in quickly. As David Bentley fails to thread it through. Bentley. Knocked out of his stride though. But Blackburn still persevering here. Held on by Ryan Nelson to Warnock. Done. Skipping free and one challenge. Down goes Santa Cruz a little theatrically, but he's got the free kick. After that challenge from Song. Santa Cruz, the former Bayern Munich striker. 9 goals so far this season, including those 3 at the weekend. But he'd gone through a barren patch prior to that. Very much back on Song, and it was Song who hit him there. Now, will it be Bentley? Become such an important player for this Blackburn team, having been discarded by Arsenal. Oh, it's Pedersen. Then it is Bentley. One for the cameras there from Fabianski. Wasn't going in anyway. Not from that angle. They have been second best to an Arsenal team who, of course, have lost only twice this season. Whatever the personnel. Both those defeats recently to Seville in Europe and Middlesbrough in the Premier League. That's good play. Can they finish? They can. Rocker Santa Cruz, they're back in it. Boy, is he in form. Yeah, it's the right service, he's saying. Got a bit shoddy here, Arsenal. Was he offside? Oof. I think he might have been. Well delivered cross anyway. Santa Cruz. It was more like Santa Claus on the weekend with those 3 goals he gifted his team. Not enough then. How will it affect this game? Well, it's given them a real lift before half-time, that's for sure. Into double figures now for the season. Derbyshire onside, according to the officials. That's ashore. The goal coming just 3 minutes from the break. Diaby. Oh, it's kept up by Traore. Good snapping challenge from Reed. Maybe now there'll be a bit more zip about Blackburn. Some of their confidence restored. Well, he'll be relieved that Bob Pollock kept his flag down, the assistant, down this near side. So he might just be toning down his half-time team talk now, Mark Hughes. Just a tad. Still been outplayed at times. Bettner. Eduardo losing out. Nelson showing his grit. Good anticipation though by Son for Arsenal. Diaby. And by Daniels. Point won't get there though. Arsenal, incidentally, in case you're wondering, have all youngsters on the bench. No big names in reserve. It's going to be a yellow card. As Bettner was sent flying there. Been the happiest of nights so far for Christopher Samba. With the whole of that Blackburn back line. Arsene Wenger having his say. Phil Dowd, it's the fourth official. He just deceived him there with his turn of pace. He takes them all personally, Arsene Wenger. They kick one of his players, they kick him. Painful for Bettner. Looking at that picture. We had wondered if Robin van Persie might feature this evening, having come on at the weekend. But he was left out tonight, along with Gilberto and Walcott, as I was saying. Woke up feeling unwell this morning, so he didn't travel either. One extra minute at the moment. Headed on by Mike Riley. Here's Danielson. Offside, it wouldn't have counted. Senderos thumping that header against the post. He was just off. Good decision by Andy Garrett over on the far side there, the dugout side. Looking aggrieved, but he was off. Can't show you the replay at the moment, Philippe, but have a look in the dressing room later. Have a look at the highlights. There have been plenty in this first half, mainly for Arsenal. But Santa Cruz has given his team hope of a comeback. Met in 2001 in this competition in the quarter-finals, and Rovers won 4-0. On that occasion, a hat-trick from Matt Jansen. But it's Arsenal who have been without question the dominant force in the first half so far in this quarter-final. Much for his team still to do, but at least they've got one back as the linesman's flag stayed down in this Carling Cup quarter-final. It's Blackburn 1, Arsenal 2. No changes for either side, so Mark Hughes is persevering with the 11 that he started with. He does have the likes of Jason Roberts among the subs though, not Tugai, who we saw in the background there a moment or so ago. I don't think there's any injury, just rested tonight. I think he could have done with his passing ability. Especially against this Arsenal side who do spread around so sweetly. Deservedly 2 goals up. But then Blackburn at least fighting back, even if the goal did seem to be offside. Diarra, who was magnificent for me in the first 45 minutes. Really controlled the midfield alongside Danielson. Here's Eduardo. The second goal after Diaby's opener inside the first 5 minutes. Best of friends, these two teams. There is history, certainly in recent times. Remember that ill-tempered FA Cup semi-final in 2005 when Arsenal went on to the final, indeed to win the trophy, but Arsene Wenger, a far from happy man after that semi-final. He claims that Blackburn tried to intimidate his team physically. The rounds continued for some time and spilled over again when they met in the FA Cup earlier this year. And a Benny McCarthy goal took Blackburn through at Arsenal's expense. Raleigh has blown up here after the flag against David Bentley. If they are to get back into this game, get back on level terms, he might just be the man to inspire them. His career at Arsenal as a youngster, 12 years old indeed, back in 1997 I think it was. He only played a dozen or so senior games for the Arsenal. Savage, Shaw's no flag here, the keeper stranded. Oh, and it was Son who got back there to deny Rock and Santa Cruz right at the last. For once, Arsenal then were a defensive shambles. Here's Bentley with the corner. Just flapped away by Fabianski, who didn't seem to know quite how to deal with Santa Cruz. Then it was Song who bailed him out. And a bright start here then to the second half from Blackburn. No doubt with a few strong words from their manager. Still ringing in their ears. Fabianski in trouble again. Senderos just about got that tackle right. If they can continue in this way, they will get the crowd right behind them, Blackburn. Had a few stutters here in recent matches. Indeed, they've not scored in 3 of the last 4 at home. He's got them fired up now. Remember, it has to be settled tonight one way or the other. Extra time available, maybe even a penalty shootout if we need one. That's Warnock, offside. He almost had too much time here, Santa Cruz. As it's played through, there's no question he's onside. Senderos was playing him on. Well, Fabianski just about did enough. And he had to tip it away there. The head of Nelson, Ryan Nelson. Diarra. Dispossessed though by Pedersen. There's more belief about Blackburn. I don't think you say they've got Arsenal rattled yet. Certainly posing a question or two. It was Reed trying to play it through. Stephen Warnock, the other fullback. Another free kick to Blackburn. Diarra's offence this time. The big lads are up there, Nelson and Samba, along with Santa Cruz. Triple threat in the air, certainly, for Arsenal to contend with here. Oh, it's just over the top. I think that came off a defender here, not Beckner. Samba looking just alongside him there, deciding to take no risks, no chances. Nicholas Beckner. It's right across the goal. Goodness me. I think it's off song in the end. Corner certainly. Bentley will take this one. Blackburn really applying some pressure now on the young gunners. Savage with Eduardo, who's away from it, hasn't got too much support. Might be enough though, is Danielson. And now Bentner. Still Nicholas Bentner. Blackburn with bodies in the way. And the chance maybe he's got. Diaby. Second half really warming up now. Clipped in but beyond Nicholas Bentner. It was a chance and it was a very good one. Fashion for him there on the counter-attack. And that's the real danger to Blackburn as they take a gamble or two going forward. They will leave themselves exposed to a team who could be absolutely deadly. Pedersen onto Bentley. That's a trip surely. Out comes the card. Revealed by a smiling Mike Riley. Young Randall. Didn't get anywhere near it. So he sent Warnock flying. No argument there. Good check by Bentley. It's there. And it's that man, Roque Santa Cruz again. And now it really is game on. Boys against men in the first half, and the boys were very much on top. But suddenly, it's all changing. Really powerful header in there. Certainly it was too hot for Fabianski to handle. Stronger in the air than his Marcus Song. And the keeper, well, he was at no man's land really then. Roque Santa Cruz. 5 goals in 2 games. 11 now for the season. One he would have been proud of himself in his heyday. So here comes Nasser Barazita. In place of Randall, who grafted hard down that right side. Only 17, Barazita. Came to Arsenal from NEC Nijmegen, back in his homeland, back in Holland, signing a pro deal with the Gunners in September. Traore. Another sweet turn by Danielson. Diarra. Surging forward with real intent, now he's got to come tracking back. And that's a foul by Danielson. Caution for him. Samba. This is Reed digging his cross in. The keeper's committed. Safe handling by Fabianski. Senderos. Not quite as smooth in possession as some of his teammates, but not found wanting there. White. Across comes Nelson. Santa Cruz combining well then with Pedersen. Song is the covering defender. All but a mistake. And a chance for Blackburn. Not taken by Derbyshire. Song's attempted clearance, fell invitingly then for him. And Sandros just showed him away from goal a little, made that angle pretty tight on the near post. David Bentley with the corner kick for Blackburn. Eduardo being handled by Savage. The crowd, any crowd, loves a try, and Savage is certainly there. Senderos, another awkward moment back there for Song. Denilson with that lock pass. Here's the Brazilian again. Traore. Denilson, Diaby, then Diarra. Aracite. Finding Hoyt. Keen to get involved, the young Dutchman, Banazute. Whipping that one in dangerously too. But repelled by Blackburn. Up comes Bentley. Gave that away very carelessly. He was far too casual. Bailed out by Samba. Here's Brazilian defending. Bentley again. Was that a nudge in? I think it was, yes, on shot by Santa Cruz. 7 minutes of the 90 remaining. Blackburn 2, Arsenal 2. In this really intriguing quarter-final tie in the Carling Cup. At the moment, we're heading for extra time. Up by Dart to Warnock. Hoyt managing to smuggle that one away despite the presence of Gats Pedersen. That'll be Fabianski's. Well, he's giving it to Mike Riley then. Here's Denilson. A little short on the pass. Saul Song. Hoyt. Up towards Bentner. Don't think he's going to beat Nelson in the air too often though. Goes Diaby. Barging his way past Robbie Savage. Eduardo. Should be Nelson's. Bentner was just behind him then. Couldn't afford to get that one wrong. Right, Nelson. Oh, then Song with a wayward header. Free kick to Blackburn. As Diarra came flying in. Always delivers his yellow cards with a smile, Mike Riley. Two minutes left on the clock. 2 minutes from extra time. Or can one of these two sides snatch it here right at the last? Pedersen's cross. The chest in the air for, I was going to say for Senderos, but it fell then for Santa Cruz. What a chance. What a chance. I thought Arsenal had dealt with this. Well, it was won initially by Nelson and then fell rather invitingly for Santa Cruz of all people. And they might have won it there, Blackburn. Alex Song. Hoyt and Diarra. Diarra losing out for once in a 1-to-1. And then got his foot to the ball to retrieve the situation. Diarra. Benny McCarthy is being readied now by Blackburn. they're going to need him. Oh, Bettner has got through here. Still Nicholas Bettner. That's the defending by Blackburn. Nelson with that vital challenge right at the last. Almost into stoppage time. Song. Diaby. Savage breathing down his neck. Chari. Three extra minutes. Still time for a winner. Danielson. Eduardo. And Samba happy to let that one travel through beyond Brad Friedel. Blackburn breathe again. McCarthy for Matt Derbyshire will be the change. Well, he's worked hard, played his part in the goal that brought them back into this cup tie. And now the man he replaced from the start is on instead. Benny McCarthy. He had a real purple streak earlier in the season, but he's been rather in and out. And after Saturday, Mark Hughes decided to make a change up front. Song. McCarthy involved straight away and almost got clear then too. Parasita's lost it. Goes to Nielsen. Oh, that looked to be a two-footed lance then on David Dunn. Savage absolutely furious, and he could be in serious trouble here. To Nielsen. It was so unnecessary. What action is Mike Riley going to take? His feet were off the ground then. The Brazilian. Temper's getting very frayed. This is completely out of hand as well. What are Reed and Song getting involved for? It was a bad challenge. How on earth can you dispute that? It's all about sticking up for your teammates, I know, but they can't defend the challenge from Danielson. What colour is this card going to be? Well, actually, I'm just checking. He's been yellow carded anyway, so surely he's going to be off for another yellow. It's red. And I don't think you can really dispute it. A wry smile on the face of Arsene Wenger. Two yellows. It turns to red, and Arsenal down to 10 as we head into extra time. And now Savage being called over. This is his angry reaction. Yellow for him. It's a pretty awful tackle from Danielson. Very out of character too. Now you feel this might just be swinging Blackburn's way. Reckless tackle from Danielson. Here it is again. Just dived in with both feet then, Danielson. Meantime it's Samba towards McCarthy. Samba again. Trying to tee it up for himself. In the last few seconds here. Traore. Arsenal with their backs to the wall and down to 10. He going? And Savage back defending. White wants to get on with it. Extra minutes being added on here for the stoppages. Diaby, Diarra. It's 2-2 at the end of the 90 minutes. Blackburn, no doubt inspired by a half-time pep talk from Mark Hughes, have come fighting back. 2 goals down in the first half, but then Santa Cruz, that's 5 in 2 games now for him. Changed the whole complexion of his quarter-final. They might have won it in truth at the death, and you certainly feel now that Arsenal have given themselves a lot to do with the sending off of Benilson right at the end of normal time. And we will need at least another 30 minutes, and who knows, maybe a penalty shootout to separate them here. Blackburn Rovers 2, Arsenal 2. Here we go. Blackburn attacking the goal to our right. And I think they'll be looking to do plenty of attacking. With Arsenal now reduced in numbers. And maybe a little in morale too. Definitely wanted to clinch it there at the end of the 90. Pumped forward by Reed. McCarthy and Santa Cruz now in tandem up top for Blackburn. Not too close from David Dunn, who scored 3 times against Arsenal in the past, including a late equaliser in the 1-1 draw here back in August. You might remember a real howler from Jens Lehmann, who was keeping goal for Arsenal on that occasion. Barazite as a sub then for Arsenal. Yet another teenager. Nelson. Some last-ditch defending at times from the likes of Nelson and Samba. Haven't always got it right. Setting up for that second Arsenal goal, the slip from Samba. No offside against Santa Cruz. And I was going to say they've defended doggedly as well, Samba and Nelson. Hoping to rebuild the excellent partnership they had earlier in the season. It was all going so well for them, and Blackburn as a team. Loose ball from Pedersen. Barazite. Went to Hoyt. Mistimed by Diaby. Bentley's through ball. Looking for McCarthy, the South African. Asking a bit too much though, Robbie Savage. Will chase anything and everyone, but was never going to reach that ball. He's worked tirelessly, Robbie Savage, this evening. And they'll have to drag him off. Diarra, straight to Nelson. And Benazite, who, surprise, surprise, looks comfortable in possession. Don't they all off the Arsenal conveyor belt? Senderos. Warnock bent for Rovers. Here's Reed. Wanting movement ahead of him. Brian Nelson. McCarthy. Well, he might have put his teammates in all sorts of problems here. Diaby with Eduardo to his left. Faced by a pack of Blackburn defenders. Hoyt. Arsenal, as usual, looking to pass their way through. Diarra, was he brought down? No, in full view of Mike Riley. He said no. Not by Santa Cruz. Savage to Samba. Fairly cagey start here to the first period of extra time. Diarra, all got caught in possession by Dunn. McCarthy, great chance, no, flags up. Flags up. Looked a tight one. Don't think so. He looked clearly onside. Hoyt surely was playing him on. Beaten only twice, remember, in the whole of the campaign so far. We've got a real fight on now against a much revitalised Blackburn. And here's surely a chance, McCarthy! Well, it was bent in here and he was certainly offside. I think the flag went up a little late, and he was off. Pedersen. I'm hearing it's probably a dislocated shoulder that's the problem for Barazite. Hopefully he'll be on the mend soon. Meantime, Bentley for Blackburn, spreading the play. It's Warnock. Can they make their numerical advantage count now, Blackburn? Against the 10 men of Arsenal, reduced by the dismissal of Danielson. He's not moving too freely, is he, David Dunn? Mark Hughes looking concerned. Leonardo McQuaina, he could bring on into midfield. He wants some information, the manager. Can you carry on? Eduardo, just nicked away from him though by Samba. Senderos. McCarthy seemed to misjudge that. Here's Diaby. Now Song. Coming forward purposefully, and here's a great chance, and it's in. Eduardo strikes it home. And Arsenal are back in front again. Coolness personified. Clinically tucked away there. Barely a whimper of response. He's onside. I think it's Reed there who was playing him on. What a good finish that is from Eduardo. He's a natural finisher. One touch and the second beyond Brad Friedel. Had it under control in an instant. Kept onside by Stephen Reed. And Wenger, well, the smile is back on his face after a pretty worrying period one way or another. Bentner to Hoyt. Eduardo making a nuisance of himself against Samba. Nilsson was back there with him though. So the end of the first 15 minutes, 15 that turned into 20. And it swung back Arsenal's way again, against the odds, when you consider the setting off of Danielson. And then the problem for Barazite. Blackburn looking to strike back straight away in the second period. Play on, says Mike Riley. Song doing exactly that, with clever feet too. Merida looking to make a name for himself. Bentner. And Friedel and Samba between them dealt with the problem. This is Bentley being forced across and he felt tripped. Not so according to Mike Riley. Arsenal defending a high line. Bentley, I think, is still hobbling after that clash with Song. We certainly had a few uneasy moments at the back for Arsenal. Put under pressure, but unfairly so by Diarra. Quainer, who'd lost his place in midfield recently to Savage. Bentley's free kick. Free header away from Senderos. Bernardo defending like a striker defence. He's given away the free kick too. Lost his bearings completely then, Eduardo. Almost tried to get out of the way, but contact was made. It's Pedersen, and it was just past the post. Oh, it was close. As Fabianski went scrambling across, might almost have sneaked in had it been on target. I'm not sure he would have got there. I'll tell you, he would have done. Of that yellow card for Traore. McCarthy! Oh, it was an opening that almost came out of nothing there. Samba beating Song in the air, but just the wrong side of the post. Meantime, Rovers ushering as many forward as they dare here. Up goes Song, lost it though. Samba, no. Pedersen, surely this time. Well, how's that for last-ditch defending by Arsenal? After the bell time, that was Samba's effort. Pedersen very cool in teeing it up for himself. And it just wouldn't go in for Mark Hughes' team. And he must be wondering now if it's beyond them. But there's still time. Fabianski, good take. Good clean take. 2 minutes to go, plus any stoppage time added on by referee Riley. And even Arsenal aren't going to throw too many forward now, surely. Bentner is on his own. Defending, how did they get away with that? Merida almost gifted a chance there, right in front of the posts. And that would have settled it. But as it is, Blackburn have the opportunity to come roaring back again now with David Bentley. Pedersen to swing it over. Anywhere will do now for Arsenal. Bentley. Locked back in. Away by Senderos. Into the last minutes. Play on. Pedersen. Off the post. Samba thought he'd rescued it then. right at the death. The keeper beat and rescued by the upright. Arsenal imploring his team to hold on here, show their character, as they have done so often in this competition. Blackburn 2, Arsenal 3. We've had 2 minutes now, 2 minutes plus of stoppage time, and that's it. And they've done it again. But my, it was close. The final score in this Carling Cup quarter-final at Ewood Park: Blackburn Rovers 2, Arsenal 3.